If we could go back and start this renovation over from the very beginning to even purchasing the house, there's so many things that we would do completely different. Now, a lot of these things me and Matt might disagree upon because we disagree on a lot of things, and a lot of things happened for us to get here, but let's start at the very beginning. If you're new to our channel, I'll quickly go over our background. We lived on a boat for many years. Matt redid the entire boat. It was very difficult. As you know, a boat is not square shaped, so we were pretty confident in our renovating skills in a home after that. We also lived off grid. A lot of things we had to come up with on our own. That's a very difficult situation. So when it came to this house buying and renovating, we thought we had this in the bag.
Yeah, we thought it would be a lot easier because we were, you know, back with, you have a lot more support. Everything is relatively square. You have unlimited tools, Amazon, Home Depot's right around the corner, professionals that you can hire. So we thought it'd be easier, but I think it is technically easier than both of those things, but it's still not easy.
To start it off, first thing was the house buying. Matt feels very passionate about this, so I will let him get into it. What do you wish you knew before you were house buying?
No, it's not what I wish I knew. It's just what I wish I would have put my foot down on my uppity wife. So I obviously, being the dude, was like, let's just get the cheapest house we could possibly get. And she was like, let's get something we're actually gonna enjoy living in so we can enjoy our life and not just live in a shack. But I'm a shack man, so I was like, come on, just cheaper shack. Because then you have more time to go surfing and stuff like that. You're not under the gun. But either way, with the buying of the house, my biggest thing that I would say is just exclude as many real estate professionals as you possibly can. You definitely do not need a buyer's agent at all. They're completely worthless.
They're actually more harmful, in my opinion.
Yeah, like...
Or can be, I'll put that.
Yeah, there's gonna be a seller's agent for the listing. It's best to just work with just that person. This way, there's $1 to pass. It's one person handling everything. Our deal got really messed up, and because we had our agent, the seller's agent, and then the seller, you had 3 people that could pass the buck around and say, well, they never told me, they never told me, they never told me, and no one was accountable, and then we were just left holding the bag. So I would exclude a buyer's agent 100%. Any of my fans of the channel that are buyer's agents, come for me in the comments. I really don't care. Your profession is 100% a joke. And every single one that I met, and all of my friends that are realtors, any of my realtor friends watching this, all you guys are ducks too. The only thing a buyer's agent does, sorry, I'm throwing shade today. The buyer's agents are the bane of my existence. All they're going to do is cost you 3 to 6%. That's all they do there, is to add, and they're going to say, well, we could save you, we can haggle you down. Definitely not mine, and definitely not anyone that I encountered. A buyer's agent makes less money if they save you money. They're not gonna wanna make less money. So it is what it is. Buyer's agent, do not do. Deal with one agent and one agent only. I helped my mom buy a house recently, and I excluded all that. I went to the title company myself. I used everything I learned. We got the deal done in a day, and it was a great deal, and everyone came out perfectly, and it was so much better than having to deal with 50 different people all in 50 different directions. So buyer's agent is gone. And then also to just do your due diligence, you know, look at the house and make sure I would say, people say don't fall in love with a house, but I say fall in love with a house, because every house is going to be a piece of crap no matter what if you buy an old one. So get one that you can envision yourself loving, because that's what's going to get you through the hard times.
You heard it here first. Okay, next. This one's for me. Don't get your emotions too caught up with the price. I was really worried that if we haggled the price down too low, that we weren't going to get the house. And after our traumatic incident, if you didn't see, go check back on previous videos of our house buying situation. We had a lot of issues. I didn't want to lose another one. So I regret what we probably paid for this house, knowing, because I knew we were renovating the majority of it. So I wish I would have haggled the price down, and if they would have said no or whatever, I could have moved on to another house. There's plenty of houses that you're gonna love. I should have done that, because at the time I didn't understand the time consumption of the DIYs that I was looking at. I was like, okay, textured ceiling, that shouldn't be too hard, just sand that off. And I wasn't knowing exactly the amount of work. Maybe you can back me up on what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's like you walk in, you see the ceiling, you're okay, scrape it, coat it, sand it, no big deal. That'll take a week or two. It doesn't take a week or two, especially when you have a 1-year-old, it takes a month or two, or a quarter or two. So yeah, there's that. And then it's like, when you look at a house, it's weird in real estate because a house right across the street is going to be, let's just say 400,000. They're going to want 400,000 for the house that they're selling. But the one across the street has new floors, new ceiling, new windows, new doors, new fixtures. This particular house we bought, all of that needed to be replaced. Every single thing wall to wall is going to be needing to be replaced. So to even bring it into the last 2 decades. So it's $100,000 worth of fixing things. But if you go to the person that lists their house for 400,000 and say, hey, I'll give you 320, they don't even look at it twice. They're like, nah, I won't do it. And that's why 1 million houses are for sale right now and not much is selling. So,
To make it short, I would have haggled the price down way more because of all the renovations.
Yeah, you got to take the dollar for dollar value of what you have to put into it. And you should take that right off the list price. But they're like, we don't care. It's worth 400,000.
Okay, next is the drywall. We knew we were gonna have to do a lot of drywall. We never did drywall before. We thought we had it. And a lot of you guys said, pay to get someone done. No one likes drywall. It's the worst job. And we said, okay, in our minds, we said, we'll do it. We wanna do it ourselves to save the money. Because we did get a quote right off the beginning. We're like, we could spend that or we could do it ourselves and not have to spend that, spend less. So we said, we're gonna do it. And then if we come into a problem, then we'll call someone to pay or we'll pay and then they'll fix the rest of it mid thing. So we started doing it and drywall is the worst job ever. I don't think anyone's ever said in the comments, I love doing drywall. Everyone says how much they hate it. We hate it also. It's so time consuming and so annoying. And so after we did it for a long time, you guys have seen the videos, we did call someone and we said, come in, quote us, we're willing to pay to just get this job done.
Save me. I said, save me, daddy,
and
help.
And they just laughed in our face, basically. They said, oh yeah, we'll give you a quote, and ghosted us. So basically people don't like coming in mid-work, which makes sense.
To be fair, I don't mind doing the drywall. I do find it satisfying and I do like the workout of it with my shoulders, but it's tough it takes a while to get it going and it takes a long time to dry. So if you have to dance around a baby and all that stuff, it's not really the funnest thing on earth. And maybe 2 people or 3 people would make it easier because there's different steps that different people could do. So yeah, drywall's not great, but.
And because it's on top of our ceiling texture, we're trying to do it all together at the same time because it's the same ingredients, not ingredients.
Yeah, it's a lot, but I am leaving
leaving
other parts undone because I think I will hire someone to come in and start from scratch and finish out other parts of the house. I think this will be the only drywall I do in this particular home, and then I'll stop later.
Okay, you hear it here first. I didn't know that. But anyways, so yeah, we should have hired someone for the very beginning. It would have saved us so much time. We just didn't know, we didn't realize it, and we wanted to give it a try. And that was a mistake. Wish we would have known that ahead of time, but you can't know until you do it. So there's that. Second, it goes kind of hand in hand with that, is we thought that we had a lot of, if you've been watching the videos, we created a butler's pantry out of the kitchen, so we had to change walls. We closed in a open dining room into a closed office, or we are building that. We changed the height of the middle wall of the living room and we added arches on things. So that's a lot of drywalling, and we're taking the texture off the ceiling. So we decided to do that pretty much all at once.
It's 100,000 square feet of drywall at least. It's just millions of square feet.
We thought, well, if we're gonna be doing the drywall, we're gonna have the tools, we're gonna be having the mud and all this, we might as well do it all at once. A lot of people in the comments said, do one room at a time to keep your sanity. And we said, no, we don't wanna have to put the stuff away, then get it again, let's just rip it.
Plus we're already insane, so we're not gonna get our sanity back, that's for sure.
So that was probably not the best idea. I don't know if I fully regret doing that, but I do think for doing YouTube and videos wise, it would have been better to do one room at a time. And for, I guess, living in a construction zone, it would have been better also to not have such a giant construction zone.
Yeah, the baby could run around in bigger spots.
So I would have done room by room probably. And who cares? We would have put the tools away and pulled them back out. I don't know what we were thinking. Anyways, and right off of that, what he keeps bringing up is the baby. The baby, we have a 14 month, maybe 15, getting close to 15
getting
months.
Close to 14.
She is 14 months now.
Nah.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
Maybe she is 15.
She's about 15 months now. In our minds, I thought I could just strap her on me, like, you know, in the carriers and still film and still be in here. You cannot do any of that. She can't walk around here. It's too dangerous. It's too dusty. You can't possibly clean up the mess every single day, else you'd be spending half of the time you have to work cleaning up. So it's almost impossible for us to film that much a day. We can only film during her naps basically, and then I take the baby and I try to get Matt a few more hours of work in here. That's why we have a lot more Matt cam going on in this renovation, but the drywall is annoying. You can only do one layer and then you gotta wait 24 hours for it to dry before you can even do the next layer, and you have to do like 2 to 3 layers of everything, the ceiling. It's just a nightmare. So, and that also with the baby, she's now confined, is that word confide?
She's confined.
Confined to the other side of the house, which is fine. It's plenty of room. There's a hallway. She has her whole playroom, her own bedroom, our bedroom, and we obviously take her outside and do all that stuff. But she can't walk in the kitchen. She can't walk anywhere over here because it's just a huge mess and there's dust everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, God bless the YouTubers that had kids that never skipped a beat and just kept it trucking the whole time. You guys are some
They
savages.
probably have nannies.
I mean, some of them probably
They have
do,
to have
some of them probably
nannies.
don't. I don't know how y'all did it. I thought it was going to be easy, but it was not easy. The baby makes it hard because if she's having a bad day, everybody having a bad day. But yeah, that's one of the hard things working around a child, you know, that's another issue as well. So, you know, when you have a project that's going to take you hundreds of hours to finish and you can only work 3 to 5 hours a day on it, you know, it stretches the days, and it's you guys that suffer. You know, you guys have to watch us do drywall over and over, but it is going to be worth it. It's going to kick into high gear here pretty soon as we get it done.
So the next thing would go with pricing and budgeting and all of that. We thought when we went into this, we have a off-grid property in Puerto Rico and we have a sailboat, and they're both for sale, and we haven't sold them. We thought we were gonna sell them sooner. It's been a year, right?
Yeah, something
Almost
like
a
that.
year. We thought we were gonna sell them and use a lot of that money for this renovation, and we have not sold them. So that is also something that didn't happen the way we planned it, but we knew that could have happened. We weren't like, oh yeah, we're definitely gonna sell it, but we were hoping. Now the budget of everything that I kind of planned, everything's a lot more expensive because I didn't realize how much, one, you don't know how much everything costs. It depends on where you live, each place. And then it also, if you pay people to do stuff like electrics, which you do have to pay some people to do the things, you can't do it all yourself. We had to pay electrics. That was way over the amount I could have ever imagined it would cost.
Yeah, permitted work you have to pay for, and you have to hire a contractor. So, you know, that is a totally different deal. Those things aren't cheap. You can't shave that off. It can be grands on grands, thousands and thousands for stuff like that. And materials are expensive as well. So, you know, it's, yeah, you can't, when you're budgeting, you can't plan the entire budget because you don't know what old Tommy and Larry are going to charge you to come do the stuff.
Yeah, so things cost way more than I thought. That happens for everyone, I know that, but that's just part of it, I
Yeah,
guess.
and when you live back in the US, your wife's going to shop on Amazon every day and just buy more and more crap.
What? That's not true. Another thing that I wish I knew before was obviously that goes with the budget situation. I created a huge butler's pantry and the kitchen to go forward. I created a plan without knowing exactly how much things were gonna cost. which was my bad. Obviously, you're supposed to budget things before you get into it. I get that, but let's just keep moving along. Basically, I built all that, and then the cabinets, when it came into it, I had an idea that, okay, you can obviously get custom cabinets that cost way too much. You can get like the Home Depot ones that they have, box office, what do you call it, box?
But I don't know what they're called. I don't know anything about cabinets, but they got the pre-made.
You know,
Cabinets.
they already got the built cabinets at Home Depot or Lowe's, and then you got the RTA cabinet. So I said there's different budgets worth of cabinets. What I didn't realize is when I went to look at those prices of those is that they're still pretty expensive if you have a large amount that you need. Even the RTA ready to assemble cabinets are still super expensive. That's why we are now in the category of having to custom build them ourselves. And what comes with having to custom build stuff that you've never done before is now a long amount of time off camera to figure out how to do this stuff, and a whole bunch of money towards tools to save you money. Now, I still believe we are going to get better cabinets and save money doing them ourselves, but there is a lot of time that you have to put into learning how to do this stuff. We don't know how to build cabinets. We never built cabinets. So now we're having to source materials, figure out stains, how to build the boxes, how to attach the frames, how to make the door, what router bits. Now we need this table, and it's...
Well, even the tools that you buy, it's not as simple as just going, it's not like a toaster where everything's intuitive, where you just put the toaster on, you put the bread in, you push the button down. The settings on all of these tools are pretty sensitive as well, especially when you're talking about 16th and 1/8 of an inch reveals on cabinets. You got to get those settings right, and the smallest variance can kind of throw the whole project off. So those have a long learning curve as well. Planers have a long learning curve, how to set the depth, how to learn how to use these tools as well. So it's a lot of learning. I particularly kind of enjoy that part of it, but it is time consuming, and it's not as simple as TikTok and Instagram and all that stuff will make it look by looking on a reel. But it's not impossible. And I would say if you do have the time to do it, our cabinets, we're going to get a way nicer product for probably half of the price. So it's still not cheap by any means.
We can't say any of this yet, though. We haven't built them.
It definitely will. I built that door in there for $17 by the time it was all said and done, especially if you break down the amount that I paid for tools. So that door at any place would be $40 to $50. You know, that's $20 for a cabinet door at Home Depot. It's just a white painted one. So cabinet door, you're gonna save half the money and you're gonna get a better product, but you gotta do the work.
Very time consuming. So really, that's only hard for us since we film videos.
But time can't be consumed. Time is a concept. This linear concept of time is something that humans made up. Time is just a blob turning on itself all the time. And the same thing, money is fake also. You can borrow $100 million and then in 7 years, if you file bankruptcy, that just goes away. So, time is made up, money's made up. You just have to enjoy your life and get beautiful cabinets for your wife to put her spices in.
Anyways, guys, that's basically everything we wish we knew before we got into our renovation and buying our house. We are now in the thick of it. We're in a hard patch and we're trying to get through this drywall. So pray for us.
It just seems hard for us, though. If you think about other people in the world that are having a real hard patch, somewhere.
No, that's not what I mean. We're
4th of July.
We're very fortunate to be able to renovate our house. We fully understand that. That's not what I mean. I don't mean, oh God, we're struggling. Pray for us. We're crying.
Some old boy just woke up like this from the 4th of July, and he's a piano player. So he got a real hard time to do, them arpeggios ain't gonna catch up for him. So yeah, that guy's having a hard time. My sister's having a hard time because she moved closer by to me, and now she's got to deal with me talking trash on her every single day. If you think I'm hard on my wife,
I'm not hard on me.
I'm real hard on my sister. I'm always beating her down. But anyway, this is a bonus story. Can I tell a bonus story real quick? We're at the end of the video.
I guess.
Okay. Bonus story. So I know I was hating on buyer's agents a lot. And to my homeboys out there, Chase and Jason Kuntz, I love you guys. I know you're real estate agents, but I could always beat the crap out of you guys, so you can come for me if you want. Anyway, So the house we were gonna buy, my dream house, on the water, had a pool, it was beautiful. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna be right on this waterway.
It was not your dream house.
I was right on the waterway. Could have been fishing, loving every day. And then but the house was way overpriced. It was priced at $490 to start. We got it down to $450, and then after repairs, I said, look, I'll do $420, and they canceled the deal on us. So that house though, and then my agent took over the selling of that using all the knowledge that I paid for, all of the things that I paid for. She took over selling that house. Huge conflict of interest. And then sold it for $380. Well, I couldn't get it to me for $380.
Yeah.
I would have bought that thing in a heartbeat for $380. Would have been.
I think she sold it to her like friends.
Yeah, she sold it to a homie. So that's one thing, you can't trust none of these agents, bro. They smile in your face, but really they just trying to stack that bank account. It's the same thing as a waitress. You know, a waitress, they don't care about you. They just trying to run up that tab so they can get some money. So either way, that's all I'm saying. Trust your instincts. Don't be nice. We went into the real estate thing trying to be nice, trying to be kind. You know, this crazy old lady, but you're in there with the savages, bro. You got to consider the mind that becomes a real estate agent. So those are the people you're dealing with. Keep as many of them to the side as you can possibly do. Deal with the actual lawyers and stuff like that, because real lawyers, they're quality. You know, they've been to law school. They do a little bit better. They're more accountable. They make a mistake, it's right there, their name's on it. There ain't no punishment for realtors. They just get one of those. So anyway, that's why I'm so hateful toward realtors. If you are a realtor, deep down, person to person, I still love you, but you got to get a new job.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Let us know down in the comments anything you wish you would have known before renovating your house, or anything you tried to do.
And tell us what's coming. They're like, you think that's what you were worried about now. You got more bad stuff coming.
Yeah, let us know, because I feel like we're like not even a third done.
We're 4%. 4% done. 4.
All right, so we might have to make another one of these videos down the road. But thanks for watching. Check out our Patreon. We also post a lot on Facebook if you want to look for updates. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.